Please believe one thing, your mind couldn't care less what you tell it. It doesn't care if it's right or wrong. It believes everything you say, so now that you know that, tell it something amazing about you. You get to choose. Remember, you can choose to be a coper, you can choose to believe you're not a coper. I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire. And they just try and imagine it in the future. And the thing about the mind is the human mind doesn't future pace very well. And I've been working with a lot of doctors and a lot of scientists, because what I do is actually called practical neuroscience. It's neuroplasticity. It's a way of getting the brain neurons to change. It's a way of getting the neural pathways that go, I'm not good enough and I'm not smart enough, to go, oh, I'm amazing. It's actually a way of falling in love with yourself. And so there's a certain way to get neurons to change. There's many ways, but one of the ways is to put people in a particular state of hypnosis or a state of meditation, and then to use specific phrases over and over again, specific patterns, and to use a very, very commanding voice. And that combination is proved to make changes, so much so that I was training a doctor recently who went home and shut down her entire practice and said, I just want to do this. This is amazing. This is changing my clients in an hour. I no longer have to give them prescriptions. And she's just written a book about it. But at the same time, I'm working every month with suicidal teenagers, anorexic children. In the last 10 years, I'm seeing children of 8 with anorexia. It's extraordinary. Children of 10 with depression, children of 11 who say, I want to kill myself because I don't feel I belong to anyone. And all I can ever do, and all you actually need to do with children like that, is go, look, darling, here's the thing. You don't have a dad, or at least have a dad worth having. I don't actually say that, but I think it. And, you know, that's a horrible thing. You're going to go through life without a dad. And here's what you've got to do. You've got to be a parent to yourself. You don't have friends. You have got to be your own best friend. And I take them through this technique. And it really is about how to fall in love with yourself, how to be your own healer, how to be your own therapist. So I'm going to show you quickly how to put yourself into a state of guided meditation. And all you need to do, if you just look at me for a minute, you're going to roll your eyes up, keep them up, and close the lids down. If you can do that and you can feel a fluttering, you're going to find this phenomenal. So let's all practice. Look up, as if you're looking into your eyebrows or your forehead. Keep your eyeballs up. And keeping your eyeballs up, close the lids down. And now let's all do that together. Just look up. Keep your eyeballs up. Breathe in and breathe out. Take another deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out. And just one more time, keep your eyeballs up. But this time, as you exhale, keeping your eyeballs up, just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. And as your eyelids shut down, you might feel a bit of fluttering going on. That's called REM. It's a sign that you're really suggestible, and that's fabulous. So I want you to drop your chin now so you really feel that same looking down feeling that you might get as you look over a balcony or down a flight of stairs. You're looking down 10 steps, and as I count, just going to see your feet and hear your feet and feel your feet treading each step. You're moving on to step 10, going deeper with every number I count. You're taking step 9. You're going deeper into an awareness of yourself. You're taking step 8. Just going deeper with every heartbeat. You're taking step 7, going deeper with every breath you take. You're taking step 4, just going deeper into an awareness of yourself. You're taking step 5, you're halfway down, going even deeper still. You're taking step 4 and 3, drifting way down deep. You're taking step 2, going deeper with every sound you hear. And every sound and noise and movement around you is taking you deeper, deeper and deeper. And now You're taking step one, just go deeper. Just go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper and deeper. It just means you're going deeper into an awareness of yourself. You're going deeper into your own internal state. And as you go deeper, I want you to start thinking about the home you lived between the age of 2 and 10. And if you lived in many homes, it doesn't matter. Your brilliant mind, your genius mind is already filling up your head with a home you lived in between the age of 2 and 10, maybe 1 and 10. It's not that important, but pre-10, you're now thinking about a home you lived in when you were a little kid and you were forming beliefs, making decisions, coming to conclusions. For many of you, those conclusions have hurt you. So like a heat-seeking missile, you are now being pulled back to that home. You are being drawn back, pulled back, taken back. You are traveling back in time to that early childhood home. And there you are right now. You're standing outside the front door. And you're just about to go into that home, go through that door like a heat-seeking missile. You are drawn to the bedroom you slept in as a child. And now you're standing outside that bedroom door. Reach out your hand, put it on the door handle. You're about to go into that room and meet a little kid, you as a child. A sweet little kid, but it's got some really interesting, incorrect beliefs already. And as you go in that room, that child in the room knows that you are them all grown up, and you know this is you as a child, and you and this child have a complete, perfect, wonderful affinity with each other, a total understanding. Open the door, go into the room. Sitting on the bed as a little kid, you as a child, a sweet little kid, but a kind of confused child who really making great sense of what is going on around them. And I want you to sit down next to that child, and you can hold that child in your arms, you can hold their hand, and I want you to ask them a question. Are you happy or unhappy? The answer is going to come up like that, yes or no. Whatever the answer is, here's the next question. This is rather like typing questions into Google. You don't need to process this through your intellect. Ask the question. The answer will come straight up from your subconscious. What I call lose your mind, come to your senses. What makes you unhappy? What is it that mommy does or doesn't do that makes you unhappy? What is it that other people do or don't do that make you unhappy? Now I want you to ask that child a question. The answer will come. Why don't you think you're enough? What is it that's going on in your life that allows you to feel that you are not enough? Why do you feel that what you want isn't available to you and probably never will be? Why do you believe that what you want is not available to you? And finally, why do you think you're different? So I'm going to count backwards now, and you're going to go right back to an early scene that is all to do with why you believe at any level at all, that you're not enough. So on the count of 5, you are drifting back, traveling back, moving back, going way back, further back, all the way back to a scene, place, event, time that is all to do with why you believe that you're not enough. You're becoming younger, smaller, lighter, shorter on the count of 4, 3, 2, 1 years. Months, weeks are peeling away from your body as you go back to a scene that is why you believe you're not enough. Just be there. And as I click my fingers, it's rather like you switching on your television, opening up your laptop. A scene is filling the screen. And this scene where you are now, is it daytime or is it nighttime? Are you inside or outside? How old are you about? And here's the only question that matters. What are you feeling? What are you experiencing? I want you to feel what you felt then. I want you to see what you saw then. I want you to hear what you heard then. As I click my fingers, your ears are wide open. You can hear something being said to you that is exactly connected to why you've gone through life believing that you're not quite enough, that you're less than someone else. On the count of 1, 2, and 3, your ears are wide open, and you can hear something being said to you, over you, around you, certainly within your hearing, and that something is all to do with why you have bought into I'm not enough, which is not true, but we have many, many beliefs that are not true. So stay in that scene for a minute. You only need a minute. Look at that scene. Look at what's going on. Feel it like it happened yesterday. And now let's go on to the second scene, which is all to do with why you believe that what you want isn't available to you. And please don't worry about what comes up. It may seem random, but you're going to see in a minute how it all works exactly the way it's meant to work. So on the count of 5, you're going back to another scene, a vivid, vital, crucial, absolutely significant scene that is all to do with how you bought into what I want is not available to me. You're becoming younger, smaller, lighter, shorter. Years, months, weeks, days are peeling away from your body. You are drifting right back to a vivid, vital, crucial scene that is the beginning of this incorrect belief. What I want isn't available. I want it. I can't get it. Just be there. And again, it's rather like switching on your computer. A picture is warming up, coming into focus, filling up your mind. This scene where you are now, is it daytime or nighttime? Are you inside or outside? How old are you about? And the only question that matters, what are you doing, seeing, feeling? What are you experiencing? Be in that scene. See what you saw then. Hear what you heard then. Feel what you feel then. Even experience what you experience then. And again, on the count of 1, 2, and 3, your ears are open. You can hear something being said to you, over you, around you, about. It's not about, maybe you're seeing a mother who just can never quite get enough money to pay the bills. Doesn't matter what it is. Maybe no matter how hard you work, the teacher never notices you. No matter what effort you put in, you're never the favorite kid at home or at school. Look at this scene, because this scene is a key to why you feel that what you want isn't available to you. Look at that scene. Just put it to one side. It's almost like you're looking at a snapshot. You've got a DVD now, and you're going to put that to one side with the first, and I'll go on to the last one. Why you believe that you're different and how that stops you connecting. So just one more time. On the count of 5, you are drifting back to a vivid, vital, crucial, significant scene that is all to do with you perceiving, feeling, believing that you are somehow different. You're becoming younger, smaller, lighter, shorter. Years, months, weeks, days are peeling away from your body. You are drifting right back right now. Just be there. And one more time, this scene where you are now. Is it daytime or is it nighttime? Are you inside or outside? Are you on your own or is anybody with you? What are you doing? Seeing, feeling, and experiencing. Just stay in that scene as I click my fingers on the count of 1, 2, and 3. Your ears are open. And you can hear exactly what you heard then. what it was that someone said about you or to you or in your presence that made you feel that you're just a little bit different or maybe a lot different, that stopped you having the connection that is your birthright. So I want you to look at each of those scenes. I want you to be like a detective now. Look at those 3 scenes, the first one, the second one, the third one. It doesn't matter if they don't even make complete sense. I want you to look at the scenes, and I want you to go back to scene 1. And remember what I said in the beginning, a commanding voice, a set of commanding repetitive words in a particular brainwave changes people. I do this with all my clients. It is so transformational. I want you to go back to scene 1, and I need you to hear you say out loud, "That's not me." I need to hear it right now from all of you. That's not me.
That's not me.
And now you're going to finish a sentence. That's not me because, and I want you to put an ending on that I can hear. That's not me because. All of you do this. Great girl in the front row. We're all the same. I want you to go, that's not me because, and then I want you to go, and that will never be me because, and that cannot be me because, and please remember when you do this, you're changing some neural pathways. So let's do it together. Ready, steady. That's not me because. Finish the ending. And that will never be me because. And that cannot be me ever again for the rest of my life because. Start and finish that sentence. Now let's go to scene 2. You remember, it's not me. This is so powerful. I do it with all my clients. They love it because it's breaking a pattern. It's interrupting a belief. And it's so easy, but oh boy, is it powerful. So go to scene 2, where you acquire these beliefs that what you want just won't be available to you. You might want love, but you're not going to get it. You want success, you don't know how to do that. You want to be free of illnesses, but your whole family's ill. And you bought into, I want it, but I can't have it. That's not true. So I want you to go, that's not me.
That's not me.
Because. Tell me why it's not you. I want to hear you. Tell me why that's not you. That will never be me because. Tell me why that will never be you again because. That cannot be me ever again because. And now let's go to the last one. I'm different, and that means I can never really connect. I can try, I can hope, but I just don't connect properly because inside I think I'm different. I want you to say, that's not me.
That's not me.
That little kid who felt different, that's not me. It's not me because. It will never be me because. That cannot be me for the rest of my life because. Now I want you to be in that room with that little kid on the bed. I want you to put your arms around that child. Take them by the hand, and I want you to just morph them to wherever you live today. Wherever your apartment is in the world, or your home, or your house, I want you to take that child by the hand, and I want you to move them to where you live now. I want you to open the front door. I want you to go in that door, and I want you to say to that child, you live in my world. And this is a better place. This is a safer place. This is a massive upgrade. I'm upgrading you into this wonderful world. And it's so much better than the other one. And it's going to get even better still. And I want you to take that child through your living room, and I want you to see that you might have Alexa and Sonos and cable TV. You probably have an iPhone 7 and a MacBook Air, none of which you had when you were 7. No one in this room had Alexa 20 years ago. No one had an iPhone 8 20 years ago, and yet we have this belief, I can't have it. I didn't have it then. I didn't have love, so I can't have love. I didn't have attention. I never felt important. I was never significant. I can't have it now. And yet, you are all upgrading your software every day, every month. What about the software in your head? When do you upgrade that? You get all these things, all these upgrades, and yet we carry on with the same old software, this outdated wiring. So go through your living room. Show that little kid your Sonos, your Alexa, your Spotify, your iPhone. Yes, they're things, but you went out and got them. And if you went out and got those, you can go out and get love and success and health and everything else. Open your phone. Show them all the people in your life that like you, that want to hang out with you, that want to hear from you. And when you finish going around your living room going, wow, clearly I'm not 4 because I got my own cable and I can stay up all night if I want watching TV. And clearly I'm not 2 because I'm operating this Apple Air and I love it. Go into your bedroom and I want you to see the bed you sleep in. And maybe you sleep with this person that loves you. Maybe you have kids that come in the morning and love you. And if you don't have that yet, you will. Open the closet and see that you're not wearing hand-me-downs or second-hand clothes or when everyone else has got Air Nikes, yours come from Target. No, because it's all available. Go into your kitchen, open all the cupboards, and remember that you don't have to eat cheap food, junk food, because you're not that child. So I want you to look at the difference. Open your cupboard, open your fridge, open your freezer, open your wallet. And there's a credit card which you did not have when you were 4. Look out the window at your car. And every day when you're driving a car, I want you to go, wow, look at this. I'm not 4 because I'm driving a car to the store. I'm buying food with my credit card. I'm going out with my friends. I'm with someone that loves me because I'm not that child. So I want you to upgrade that child right now. And every day for the next few days, actually being in this room with these amazing people that will love you and support you. No one here is mentally 3 years old. And if you were, we'd still love you and support you because that's what Mind Valley is all about. So I want you to see that you are not that child, not even in your dreams. And when you upgrade that child into your current life, you can never go back, not even in your daydreams. So now I want you to hold that child in your arms. Put your arms around yourself. I want you to imagine that child is just a tiny little kid depending on you. So I need to see you all with your arms around yourself. We're all going to do this because this is so powerful. And I want you to say to that child, I'm becoming a loving parent to you now. Say it out loud if you want to. No one in the world can play this role like I can. I love you exactly the way you are. I love you completely and unconditionally. I will always have time for you. You and I have balance now. There's nothing we can't do. And I want you to think about what you really, really wanted to hear when you were a kid. We all want to hear the same thing. No one wants to hear, oh, you're going to be a great Beverly Hills dentist when you're 30. We want to hear, I love you. I'm proud of you. How lucky am I that you're my kid? So whatever you wanted to hear, you're about to fill in the blanks. But I want you to start by saying, I love you. How lucky am I to be your parent? You're an amazing child. I love you so much. And when you grow up, you're going to find so many people that love you because you're so lovable. I'm so proud of you. You're amazing. You're smart. You're wonderful. You're great company. You're the best kid any parent could have had. And I want you to add anything. You know better than me what you wanted your mother or father to say. Say it now. Add it in. Come on, say something. You all have got one thing. Because here's the thing. Criticism withers people, and praise builds them up like nothing else. So the final thing we're going to do today is the praise you never had, the person you're still waiting, the teacher at school that you're still waiting to tell you that you're phenomenal, the difficult grandma that you're still waiting for her to notice that there's something about you. So I want you to think about what you most wanted to hear. Think about it now. What are the words you've been waiting all your life? What are you trying to get your boss or your partner or your friends or your parents to still tell you? You know what it is. What are you still needing to hear? I want you to say it out loud right now. You are amazing. You're my favorite. Keep going. I want you to say you're gifted. You have a unique skill. You have a unique talent. There's something in front of you that can be done better by you than by anyone. There's a loving relationship in front of you that you will enjoy better than anyone else. There's a stellar career that you're going to excel at. So just take another minute and please take this opportunity to give yourself the praise you've been waiting for your whole life, knowing that nothing will boost your self-esteem, or knowing that nothing is as important as the words you say to yourself. And please believe one thing, your mind couldn't care less what you tell it. It doesn't care if it's right or wrong. It believes everything you say. So now that you know that, tell it something amazing about you. Go on right now, I'm waiting. Give yourself the praise you've been waiting for. So let me help you out a bit. Let's do this together. I want you to say, I am enough.
I am enough.
I'm always enough.
I'm always enough.
I always will be enough.
I always will be enough.
And because I know it, everyone around me knows it too. I'm so lovable. I couldn't be more lovable. I'm lovable because I'm me. I matter. I'm significant. I have a purpose. I'm here for a reason. There's something on the planet I'm going to do better than anyone else. I'm not my past. I'm not my weight. I'm not my shape. I'm not my size. I'm not my salary. I'm not my apartment. I'm not my job description. What I am is lovable and enough. And that's never going to change. So take a few minutes, and I want you to feel it like lotion on chapped skin. Let that sink in, because that is the truth about you. You are lovable. You're enough. You matter. You're significant. There's no one else in the world exactly like you, because nature doesn't do that. People go, I've got 2 kids, they're different. It's like, well, that is the point. They're supposed to be the same, because why bother to give you 2 that are identical? Even twins aren't identical. Even identical twins are not identical. So take a few minutes and just let that sink in. let it in. The most powerful words are let go. Let go of the old stuff and let the new stuff in. And of course, as you let this in, you're making new neural pathways. As you let the new stuff in, the old stuff goes. It's like Giga, garbage in, good stuff in, garbage out. So as you let the good stuff in, you have to let the garbage out. So take a few minutes, and when you're ready, I want you to just let yourself come back to your full awareness. Remembering these things you can do. It's not me. Upgrading the child. Becoming a loving parent yourself. It's never too late, ever, to be the parent you wanted to have. It's never too late to be your own best friend. So take a minute and just open up your eyes and come back in the room. Because although you've returned, you can't go back. Once you do this powerful transforming work, you can't go back. So I've taken you through some of this, the only 3 things that are wrong with you. Of course, when you take RTT for me, every model is longer, every model explains stuff, every model has case histories and things, so you really get it. Oh, there's only 3 things wrong with you, but also only 3 things wrong with everyone else. I now understand my difficult kid, my cranky boss, my withholding parent. I know what's wrong with them. Upgrading the child, I invented upgrading the child. I created it for clients that didn't do well in regression. It's so powerful. I now do it with, even when they regress like a dream, I still add in upgrading the child because the results are so profound. The only way your mind works, we haven't covered that today, but it's very interesting when you work out there's 3 things to know about your mind. Role, function, purpose, that's profound. I was working recently with a child who had chronic eczema. And with adults, in RTT, you're going to learn the role, function, purpose, and indeed intention of any illness, because we go to doctors and go, I just want to be thin. Can you give me some pills and have liposuction? But if there's an intention, as long as you're heavy, guys don't look at you funny like they did when you were 10 and your mum's boyfriend lusted after you. So when there's a role, function, purpose of an illness, you're not going to get rid of it with drugs or even surgery. How you get rid of it is understanding why it's there. And so recently I was working with this little kid of 5 who had chronic eczema. I said, you know, darling, if the eczema was your friend, if it wanted to help you, and he said, without skipping a beat, because why is it there? He said, when I stand like that and Mummy puts on the cream and the wet bandages, she doesn't put any cream on that baby. And there you have it, a little child of 5 who kept thinking, I want Mummy to put cream on me. I want Mummy to rub cream into me like with that baby. The mind's like, that's what you want? My job, my number 1 job as your mind is to go ahead and get what you want. You want to be covered in cream. How about eczema? Job done. Now I've got a little kid of 5 with vascular migraines where he practically passes out. That's really unusual. Same thing to him, darling. You know, your mind wants to be your friend. If the migraines were your friend, he said, when Mummy and Daddy fight and I get a migraine, we turn off all the lights and we sit in the dark and the quiet until it goes away, because that child had said, I need Mummy and Daddy to stop fighting. I need to find a way. Just like many kids go, I don't want my uncle to look at me funny like that. I don't want anyone to look at my body. And the mind goes, I'll disguise it. I'll shield you. I'll hide you. Or you can't cope with the pressure. I was working with a girl recently who had to have 41 injections in her head. 41 injections because of migraines. When I asked her the role, she said, nothing I do will ever satisfy my dad. As long as I'm sick, he doesn't expect anything of me. Success is not about never failing. It's not about never having setbacks. It's about how quickly you bounce back, how quickly you get back up. And I have found that the fastest way to stop spiraling and to get back up is to tell yourself that you have phenomenal coping skills. Many years ago, I worked with a girl who really had a challenging life. In fact, her mother's saying was this, I can't cope. They never went to the cinema or even the store. The mother couldn't cope with light or sound. She was light sensitive, noise sensitive. If you opened a packet of potato chips, it would make her react. Because her mother's words were, I can't cope, can't cope with the noise, can't cope with the mess, can't cope with anything. My client grew up with a belief, I can't cope. And she had such an inability to cope that she ended up being hospitalized. And then she was a day patient, and then I began to treat her. And she said, you know, every week I have to go for therapy, and we sit in a circle and we have to say something good. And when it's my turn, I tend to go, well, today I saw some daffodils, it made me smile. Or yesterday I saw some bees and I felt good. And I'm like, no, forget the bees and the daffodils. This is what you are going to say when it's your turn in the group to speak. You are going to say, I have phenomenal coping skills. And next week you're going to say, I have extraordinary coping skills. And next week you're going to say, I have amazing coping skills. You're going to say it in that group. You're going to write it on your mirror. You're going to say it every day. It's going to become not just your affirmation, but your statement of truth. I promise you, if you say it, you send a message to your mind. And by the way, your mind does not care if what you're telling it is good or bad, right or wrong, useful or useless, helpful or not helpful. It doesn't care. You know why? It doesn't even know. So you can choose whether to go, I can't cope, or you can choose to go, I have amazing coping skills. I can't cope. I have awesome coping skills. You get to choose. You know what you can't choose? What you do to your body when you go, I can't cope. This is driving me crazy. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm at my maximum bandwidth. I just can't cope. I can't cope, because it's not true. Human beings are actually resilient. And the fastest way to stop yourself spiraling out of control, the fastest way to stop believing that events is all gone wrong. My flight got cancelled, my contract got cancelled, my partner left me, my child got sick, I can't pay my bills, I'm losing it, I'm sinking, I'm drowning in debt, I'm sinking into grief, I can't deal anymore. The fastest way to stop that is to have some amazing sentences. I have extraordinary, phenomenal, incredible, enviable, exemplary coping skills. Sends an incredible message to your mind that doesn't think, doesn't argue, doesn't disagree, just goes, hey, whatever you say, your mind is the genie. Your wish is its command. When you say, I have amazing coping skills, your words shape your reality, and it becomes real, because it's not the events that affect you. It's the meaning you attach to the event. It's not pressure. It's not people. It's your beliefs. So going back to my client, let me call her Annabelle. That wasn't her name, but we'll pretend it was. Annabelle came back and said, you know, it's amazing. I say that all the time. I even sing that song from the Muppets, phenomenal, da 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 da, phenomenal, da 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 da. I sing, I'm phenomenal. And it's just so in my head. I sing it, say it, speak it, think it, and I feel amazing. But you know what else has happened? The nurse said to me, Annabelle, the other patients also would like to say they have phenomenal coping skills. Is that okay? She went, well, it's not my word. Marisa told me to say it. It's a word I use all the time, by the way. So she said, sure. So they all began to say it in turn, different versions of it. And then the ward put up posters all around. You have amazing coping skills. You are a phenomenal coper. And they said that that ward, that group, if you like, had the fastest discharge and the fastest recovery. So I invite you to do the same. Be a coper. Tell yourself, I can cope with whatever life throws at me. Whatever's in my path, I cope with it because I'm a coper. Not only am I a coper, I'm a phenomenal coper, an extraordinary coper. I have phenomenal coping skills. You see, if your belief is I'm going to be perfect, I'm going to find a perfect person, have a perfect home, raise perfect kids, and have a perfect job, you know what you'll be? Disappointed. Perfection doesn't exist. In 30 degrees, I can tell you that my clients who keep trying to be perfect. And not only the unhappiest and the most dissatisfied, they are also the loneliest, because we don't want someone who's perfect. We want someone who is real. We want someone who can cope, because that's a great thing. Oh, I can cope and you can cope, and let's cope with life together. Let's take the good and the bad, and let's just have a great life with our great coping skills. So let's imagine that you use the word, I can't cope. I'm in overwhelm. That's a new word. I'm in overwhelm. I'm overwhelmed. If you tell your mind that you can't cope, then you need something to help you cope. That may be drugs. It may be medication. It may be alcohol. It may be food. Because you've told yourself, I can't cope. And because your mind takes everything you say as literal, it's now going to look outside of you for something that makes you cope. I was working with a girl recently who had a very bad drug problem, and I told her something. I said, you know what? Drugs are for people who can't cope with reality. Reality is for people who can't cope with drugs. And she laughed and said, I never thought about that. Drugs are for people who can't cope with reality. So if I cope with reality, that means I don't need drugs, of course. Rather, when we're in grief, we go, I need medication. I need something to take away the pain. I need a pill. I need a drink. You see, it's a belief. It's an action. I need something out there. Medication, drugs, drinks, cigarettes, cakes. I need something out there because I've just told myself I can't cope in here. In fact, when you can cope in here, you don't need anything out there. And you can cope with grief, as painful as it is. You can cope with loss. You can cope with setbacks. Because when you medicate, when you push them down with a massive tub of ice cream or with some drugs or with some alcohol, when you push them down, they don't go away. They regroup and they come back stronger than ever. All of my clients on antidepressants say, you know, it doesn't work. One of my clients came to me and said, I can't have sex with my husband. So I went to my doctor. He put me on Prozac. You know what's happening now? I still can't have sex, but I don't care. I'm just so numb. I don't care. Something was driving me crazy. Now I'm on medication and I'm just numb. I'm not up. I'm not down. I'm numb. You don't really want to be comfortably numb. You want to feel. And joy and pain are like the weave of a cloth. You can't have one without the other. We can have moments of immense joy, but there's also pain. Our parents will probably get old and die. We will get old and die. Things happen. But when you believe I can cope with anything life puts in front of me, then you can indeed cope. I lost both my parents and one of my dearest friends all in the same 3-month period. That was hard. But I was just so glad I had my parents for such a long time. I was so glad I got to be with them at the end and talk to them and say goodbye. And my father was saying, Joe, I've had a wonderful life. I've had such a great life. It's been an amazing life. He was a coper. My mother had a very different passing. And I felt no pain when my father died. Apart from I missed him, I felt a lot of pain about my mother because my mother wasn't a coper. My father was. My father decided he'd had an amazing life, and my mother didn't quite think the same thing. Be a coper. You get to choose. Remember, you can choose to be a coper. You can choose to believe you're not a coper, but you can't choose what believing you are not a coper does to your body, to your adrenals, to your cortisol levels. When you believe you are a coper, everything is easier. So be a coper all the time. So if you think you can, and if you think you can't, you're absolutely right, because you are what you think. And every athlete, every Olympic athlete bar none, every celebrity, every rock star or actor that you see must believe in themselves. For people to believe in you as an athlete, as a performer, they have to believe in themselves first. They have to have a belief that is so strong, so invincible, so consistent, so ever present,
that others believe it too. You know, Muhammad Ali said, I told myself I was the greatest before I really was the greatest, before it became true, and then it became true. What a concept. Say, I'm the greatest and become the greatest. And we'll say to Michael Jordan, gosh, you're lucky. He said, I know, the more I practice, the luckier I become. So what he's really saying is, I have earned my greatness. And we often look at singers, we look at movie stars, and we think, well, that was easy. It isn't often easy. Ed Sheeran slept in parks. He busked in the street. He was determined to make it. He got a lot of rejection. He knew he had a phenomenal gift, a phenomenal talent, and he must share that with the world. He knew that. Eminem was laughed at when he became a rapper, but he knew that he was great, he was amazing, he was gifted, and if you're given that kind of talent, you certainly need to share it with the world. Imagine if Eminem was a plumber, if Ed Sheeran was a builder. Nothing wrong with that, but we'd have never got to share their greatness. So this single attribute people have of saying, I'm good at this, I'm great at this, this is my gift, this has got my name all over it, I was meant to do this, no one can do this better than me. There's a great story that Celine Dion sent a master tape to, I don't know, maybe Sony, could be any recording company. And she called them and said, what do you think? They said, we didn't like it. She said, you didn't listen to it. There is no way you could hear my voice and turn me down. They were so shocked. They went, go and find that cassette. Played it, made history. They signed her. But imagine if she went, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it, you don't like my voice. All right, I'll do something else. We never would have heard that song. My heart will go on. So many people who are knocked back come back and go, no, 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 you don't understand. This is who I am. This is what I do. I have a gift. I have a voice. I have a talent. And that single attribute of knowing they're good and telling you without bragging, without even showing off, just saying, hey, this is my gift, this is my skill set, this is my area of excellence. No one can do this better than me. And imagine if you're a flight attendant and you had that gift to say, hey, you're in safe hands, to be the kind of parent that isn't intimidated by a school teacher, because you know I am the best parent, I'm the best partner, I'm the best at what I do. Whatever you do, you can be the best at it. There's someone in London called Jane Ashley, she's Paul McCartney's girlfriend, and she makes cakes, only cakes. She doesn't make chicken recipes or pies, just cakes. She charges $800 for a cake. She's written books about cakes. She has a shop just selling cakes. And she's an expert at one thing, and she tells everyone, I am the best cake maker in the world. Imagine if you had that and you could say, my nursery school, my coffee bar is the very, very best because I'm the best, because I promise you, if you don't believe in you, how can someone else believe in you? How can anyone believe in you if you don't believe in you? You have the power to access phenomenal potential to be the best, and you don't have to be famous. Not everybody wants that, but you can still be the best at what you do. I am the best hairdresser, bar none. I'm the best plumber. I'm the best contractor. I'm the best at having people around to my house and making a lovely dinner, and people just love hanging out with me because I'm so warm and friendly and caring and entertaining. Imagine that if you had such unshakable self-belief in your gift, your talent, your skill set, whatever it was. The other day I was saying to someone, oh, I can turn any cat. They were going, oh, I got this cat. And I said, I can turn any cat. I can turn any cat with food and love, because I can. I wasn't showing off. It's like, oh, give me this wild, crazy cat. I'll turn it into a true pussycat, because I can do that, because I understand animals, and they just need patience. They need dialogue. Don't have to be famous to do that, but I have a friend who was actually in the Boomtown Rats. He was a rock star. And when he left the Boomtown Rats, he also had that gift to turn any animal. And he created a whole company training animals to be on stage. He actually trains the corgis that you see in The Crown. He's trained so many animals to be in adverts, to be on the screen, because it's his gift. And he'll say, oh, give me an animal. I can train any animal with love, with words. I can make your pet famous if you want me to. And he really can, but he doesn't brag. That's his gift. So imagine if you had that unshakable confidence in your voice, that unshakable conviction, that unstoppable knowing, no one can do this better than me because it's my gift. It's what I was meant to do. It's what I was put on the planet to do. You might hear people say, oh, I love babies. I've got a gift with babies. I'm really good with horses. I'm really good with people. I'm great with old people. I love listening to their stories. And it's not bragging. It's stating the truth. Find out what you're good at. Tell everybody. And make that a statement of truth. You know, many people come to me and say, I want to be a millionaire. And there's a great song about I'm going to be a millionaire. And they read things like The Secret, which says, if you want to be a millionaire, just wish it and it will happen. And that's not quite enough. I've worked with many, many, many millionaires. And I became one myself quite a long time ago now, never having possibly thought that could ever happen. But then I worked with so many multi-millionaires and billionaires, and I really understand how to attract money, how to attract wealth. And I'm going to take you through today why you haven't yet become a millionaire. There's several things that will stop you. Here's the number one. You don't believe you are worth it. You may want money, you may long for money, but if you have an inner belief that says, I'm not worth it, not only won't you attract that money, if you did, you would get rid of all of it. So if you wish to become a millionaire, you must decide you're worth it. The more reasons you can decide you're worth it, the more you'll have that motivation, that fire, that drive to go out and make a lot of money. The second thing that will make you become and stay a millionaire is working out how much good you will do with the millions that you make. You see, Bill Gates, what an amazing guy. He says that in 20 years, malaria won't exist because he is using his money to wipe out malaria. That's an extraordinary thing, and he deserves all the wealth he has for that reason alone. If you can think of something that you could do, or the people you would help and impact by becoming a millionaire, the more reasons you can come up with, the more people you can help, the more reasons you will have to become and stay a millionaire. And here's the third thing, and this is so important. Many people think, well, I'm just going to float around and manifest millions. I'm just going to sit at home on my sofa and manifest millions. If you want a job, you go out and look for a job. If you want a new home, you go out and visit new homes. If you want a partner, you better go out and put yourself in front of people. And if you want to make and keep millions, you need to decide, what are you going to do to make those millions? What gift or talent do you have that you can monetize? You may say, I don't have anything, but that's not true. If you really take a while, you can find a gift, a unique skill set you have that you could monetize. You see, some of the smartest people in the world, they don't invent a product. They take an existing product, like James Dyson. He took a hairdryer, he took a fan heater, he took a vacuum cleaner, he took a hand dryer, and he made them better. And many, many people take an existing product and make it better and become a millionaire that way. It's not about, shall I invent something? I don't have an inventive mind. I'm not creative. It's about an idea. You may come up with a new product. You may take someone else's product. For instance, shapewear wasn't new when Spanx came on the market and became a multi-million-dollar company. They didn't invent a new product. Well, they sort of did. They took an existing product, they made it so much better. And you can do that too. But the biggest blocks I see with budding millionaires are these things. One is, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. And they just try and imagine it in the future. And the thing about the mind is the human mind doesn't future pace very well. One of the reasons depressed people can't snap out of it is because they can't future pace. And by the way, if this is making sense to you, please like, please share, please subscribe to my channel and show it to other people who also want to make money. Why wouldn't you want to make money? You can do great things for others when you make money, but they don't know how. They've been deluded by these manifestation programs. Sit at home and chant Om Shanti and money will fall from the heavens. We all know that's not true. So if you want money, you must be able to visualize, but it must be now. You must be able to think of how you're going to make money. What could you possibly do to make money? Remember that woman who changed the face of a floor mop? They made a movie about her, and she became a millionaire, and she was a housewife. But one day she was mopping her floor and thought, you know, this is not really a good mop. And she recreated and reinvented a floor mop and has made millions that way. But here's another big block. You have to work hard. Many people think, well, I'll just manifest, I'll just sit at home. The best plan in the world will not work if you don't work. So people get this really weird belief that people who make millions don't work. They just manifest, it falls from the heavens. They float around doing a little stuff here and there. And that's not true. I work with millionaires and billionaires, and they do work hard. They work long, and they work hard on their way to success. They work a lot. When they get success, of course they can take time out. But you see, when you do what you love and love what you do, it never really feels like work. I love what I do. I do what I love. I often say I feel like I've never worked a day in my life because I love what I do. But really, I have worked hard. When I've written books, I've been writing for 12 hours a day, meeting deadlines. I travel all over the world through time zones, giving talks, and sometimes that's tiring. I plan out my schools and I'm there teaching. But I love it so much, it doesn't feel like work. But if you believe you can be a millionaire and not have to change anything or do anything or work hard, you will probably never be a millionaire. You have to work hard. You have to apply yourself. The best plan will not work if you don't. You have to have phenomenal, extraordinary self-belief. And finally, you have to put yourself around other people who've made money. Ask them, what did you do? What happened to you? You see, I met Wayne Dyer many years ago, and he said something I always remembered: do not die with your music still inside you. And I thought, wow, I'm one of the best therapists in the world, and I can't die with my therapy. I mean, I need to create a course, make a school, teach it to other people. I was so glad I listened to him. And I've listened to many people who say the same thing. I didn't go to university. I didn't have a charm background. I wasn't born into money, but I had a dream, a vision, and I married that vision to very hard work. I kept going. Please don't think successful people never get rejected. They do, but they bounce back, they come back, they have unshakable, unwavering confidence, they have drive and determination. So take a few minutes and just get out a little notebook or on your phone, write out all the reasons why you would like to be a millionaire, all the good things you could do if you were a millionaire, the people you could help, and then decide what industry you could go into. Are you going to invent something, create something? And some of the smartest people create things entirely by mistake. Look at what other millionaires have done. Read some books written by millionaires. There are many. Read Richard Branson, read Felix Dennis. Look at some stories of millionaires and decide, if they can do it, I can do it. This is a template, and I'm going to follow that template. And if you have the belief, the vision, the work ethic, the drive, and the confidence, you will become a millionaire. And even if you're not born with any of those habits, who cares? You can adopt them. You can make them your own. That's exactly what I had to do. I looked at what millionaires do. They do what they don't want to do, take action every day in the direction of their goals, and they come back from rejection None of those things were natural to me, but neither is shoving a contact lens in your eye. But if you do it enough, it becomes natural. I made those habits natural, so can you. Discipline is something you acquire. It's like a muscle. If you work it, it gets better. So I'm going to tell you some absolute secrets of people who appear to be naturally disciplined. They're not. I've worked with many, many Olympic athletes. They don't go, yay, it's snowing, I'm going to get up and go out and train today. They have to keep saying, I want that Olympic medal, and this is the price I'm going to pay to get the Olympic medal. So before you begin to adopt self-discipline, take a minute and think, what do I want? What do I really want? And then answer another question, what price would I pay to get what I want? Do you want a great relationship? Well, you have to go out. You can't sit at home. You've got to go out and interact with people. You want a great job, you've got to go for some interviews. But there are some actually keys that very, very disciplined people have, and here is the most important one, and this would change your life if you do it. And I had to make myself do this. It was not natural at all. You must do what you don't want to do first. People who are hugely successful do this. They do the thing they hate first of all. I worked with somebody who was morbidly obese, and I said, you know, you have to work out. When I hate working out, you know, I'm heavy, it's really uncomfortable. I said, no, not only have you got to do it, you got to do it first. And I had to do that too. You see, if you don't like going to the gym and you go, I'll go later, then something happens, the phone rings, you eat something, you think, oh, it's too late now. When you go first, you think later, oh, I went to the gym first. I feel like a winner. You got to make a very difficult call. You've got to ring someone who owes you money, or confront someone that you don't want to confront, and you wait. And all day it's hanging over your head, making you feel so bad. But when you do it first, you feel like a winner. Because people who have discipline do this. They do the thing they do not want to do first. And I want you to start saying that. I was giving a speech recently, and the guy who came on after me said, you know, I kept hearing a voice in my head going, Marisa said, do what you don't want to do first. He said, that has changed my entire business life. And all my staff remember that too. What do we not want to do? What's the worst job? Let's do that first and get it out of the way. So that is secret one to having incredible self-discipline. Tell yourself, make yourself do what you don't want to do first. And of course, in the beginning, this will be what you do, but you know what will happen? It starts to become who you are. It becomes easy. It becomes seamless. It's a bit like putting lenses in your eye. It feels seriously odd to suddenly jam your finger in your eye. But if you do it every day, it becomes easy. Because that's how habits are formed. You make a habit, and then your habits make you. So make your habits amazing. So you've got habit 1. Here is habit 2. Take action every single day in the direction of your goals. And that doesn't mean work for 10 hours a day, but even on a Saturday or a Sunday, if you're building your business, spend 5 minutes answering 1 email, making 1 call, because that's what winners do. They don't have a day off when they are on their way to success. They take action every single day in the direction of their goals. And here's point 3, and it possibly is the most important point of all. Delay gratification. Delay the reward. You see, years ago we went to work and our boss would go, hey, good job, you did really well today. But now a lot of us don't have a boss. We work for ourselves. We work from home. You may be a coach or a marketer. You don't have a boss praising you. Without praise, your praise muscle never really grows. What happens when you work for yourself is halfway through you stop and you do something. And what you have to do in the morning is go, right, I love my cappuccino, but I'm going to do something first. Make 6 calls, send out an email, then the cappuccino is my reward. And in the evening, you've got to think of your dinner and your TV as a reward. I'm going to reward myself. And you see, if you see it as a reward, it makes you work better. It's a big problem that we take the reward first. I'm going to eat that, have a nice dinner, and I'll do all the other stuff later. And you know what happens? Later never comes. So you have to now do what we naturally do as parents. We say when you finish your homework, you can go out to play. At school, you have work, and then playtime. A parent will say, tidy up your room, and then you might have ice cream. So we are naturally wired to take the reward after the work. But what's happened is we now give ourselves the reward before the work, and then we don't feel any inspiration to do the work. So I promise you, if you adopt these 3 habits, it will change your life. Do what you don't want to do first. Take action every day in the direction of your goals, no matter how small the action is. The smallness doesn't matter. What matters is you are wiring your mind, coding your mind, firing into your mind the habits of natural winners. And then you'll be a winner. And who cares if it's unnatural? That's not important. And point 3, of course, is delay gratification, delay your reward. When I was writing my first book, it was quite time consuming, and then my publisher rang me up and said, you know what, we're bringing the date forward by a whole month, like a whole month early. I was finding it really hard to finish it, and for that month I couldn't read a paper, I couldn't watch a movie. My favorite series happened to be on at the time, and I had to record it every day. I couldn't watch it, and I kept thinking, when I finish this, I'm going to take the whole day off, I'm going to binge watch that whole series. I had a little bag full of all the magazines and periodicals that I couldn't read, but I finished it because I kept thinking about that reward. And then I did take a day and watch everything I hadn't watched, read everything I hadn't read. And all my friends rang up and said, you must feel so great, you finished your book. I went, yeah, but you know what? I kind of miss it, actually. I'd really got into that discipline of getting up, writing, working. And that brings me to one more point I hadn't mentioned, and this is also very important. When you're doing that work, praise yourself. You know, when I wrote my book, I had to keep saying, this book is amazing, this book is phenomenal, everyone is going to love this book. That may sound incredibly arrogant, but imagine if I'd said, oh my God, this book's not very good, in fact this bit sucks, and what if nobody likes it, and what if nobody buys it, what if, oh my God, it doesn't even get a mention. You see, the way your mind works is it believes everything you tell it. Your mind can't really future pace, and if you do anything saying it probably won't work. Imagine you go on Tinder going, oh, I'm just going to get ghosted. I know that's going to happen. No one's going to want me. I'm going to open a business. No one's going to buy my product. I'm going to be a coach, but no one is going to want to be coached by me because I don't have enough experience. Your mind cannot tell the difference between fact and fiction. What you tell your mind is real, as far as your mind is concerned. If you say it, it's true. And that's why when I wrote my first book, I said, this is amazing, this is phenomenal, this is extraordinary. When I got it back and I read it, I thought, do you know what? It's actually not. I can really see in the first 3 chapters that I'd never written a book before, but then I could see after the first 3 how it picked up. But no one else seemed to see that because it was indeed a bestseller. I always imagined it I used to tell my little girl, one day you're going to see Mummy's book in the front of this bookstore. And that's exactly what happened, and we took pictures because I could see it, and if you can see it, you can achieve it. So do that too when you're doing any task. Even if you're going to the gym and doing 300 sit-ups or the plank, don't go, oh my God, this is painful. Go, I love this. My body loves it. My body loves every sit-up. My arms love the plank. My spine loves this. When you're eating food, tell yourself, my body is digesting this. So remember to praise yourself, because these 4 things combined will give you phenomenal, incredible self-discipline. And self-discipline will change your life. And you know what's also amazing? When you adopt and embrace and pick up those 4 habits, At the end of every day, you'll have this great feeling, I earned this, I deserve this, I'm worth it. So many of us walk around with a different belief, I'm not worth it, I winged that, I don't really deserve that, I don't deserve the praise, I don't deserve the recognition. I've worked with many, many, many international rock stars, and they have a great ability to destroy everything they've created because they say this, but you know, I wrote that song in 5 minutes. Someone said, write a song about pain. I dashed it out, got millions of pounds, but I didn't really feel I earned that. And you know what I did? I got rid of it all. And I see that time after time after time again. But when you feel you've earned it, then you can keep it. When you feel good about it, I earned it, I deserve it, I'm worth it. Those 4 habits will allow you to begin and end every day knowing that you are worth it. Worth it is very different to worthless. Be worth it by embracing those 4 habits of self-discipline. Own them, adopt them. If they're unnatural, say, well, I'll just keep doing this until it becomes natural. You know, come on. Peeing in the toilet wasn't natural once. Feeding yourself wasn't natural. But it became natural over time. And that's exactly what self-discipline will do for you. Over time, it will feel natural. First, it's what you do, and then it becomes who you are. When it becomes who you are, your life will be amazing. So make your life amazing now. Make those habits your own. So let me recap these 4 life-changing habits of self-discipline. Do what you don't want to do, what you dislike, and do it first. Take action every single day on your way to success in the direction of your goals. Delay gratification. Reward yourself after the event, after the task, and never before. And massively praise yourself, big up yourself, build your praise muscle. Praise yourself the way you want someone else to praise you. We hold ourselves back because we're so worried about what you will think. And now it's got worse. I put something up on Facebook and then I'm looking to see how many likes I've got. I got 2. And now I think, oh, people don't like me. I put something on Instagram or Twitter, and I got no likes, no comments, no followers. Now I feel worthless. But if I put it up and someone liked me, I'd feel worthwhile. And you know what they're doing? They are giving someone else permission to decide if you are worthwhile or not worthwhile. So I'm going to tell you something that is so truthful, it will change your life. You ready? The most important words you will ever hear are the words you say to yourself. The most important opinion is your opinion. After all, if you went into a store and said, is this okay? Does this colour suit me? They usually go, oh, that's your colour and that's your style. You know, actually you should get that in 3 other colours and you should get this to go with it. It's very easy for people in stores to manipulate us. It's very easy to say, oh, you know, I felt kind of manipulated into buying that. The assistant was so nice, or, you know, I didn't really want that, but I didn't know how to say no. Or my boss at work praised me and said, you're amazing, you're the best team member, you are indispensable. Could you take on this other person's work and finish it this weekend? And it's like, what can I say? They totally manipulated me with praise. So your mind understands. Other people can tell you great stuff, but they may have an agenda, they may not, but they might. And often people say something great, we go, what do you want? Why are you being so nice to me? What do you want? You must want something. So that's true. When other people want something, they often start by praising you. And then they hit you with what they want. Oh, you're my favorite cousin in the world. And of all my cousins, you're the best. Could you lend me some money? Could I hit you up for something? So there's an agenda, but your mind also understands when you say things to yourself, there's no agenda. If you say I'm great, there's no agenda. If you say I'm useless, there's no agenda. Whatever you say to yourself, it sinks in. Your mind doesn't stop to say, is what you're saying to yourself useful beneficial, helpful, relevant? Is it even true? No, it doesn't. It just lets it in. So when you say to yourself, I am significant, I matter, I'm lovable, I've got a talent, I've got something to offer the world, don't know what it is, but I believe that the universe that put me on the planet gave me something to do on this planet, and I'm going to find it. When you praise yourself, there is nothing that will grow your self-esteem like praise, and there is nothing that will diminish it faster than criticism. Self-esteem means what I think of you. After all, if I said, I hold you in the highest esteem, that's what I think of you, but self-esteem is what you think of you. And to stop caring what other people think, to stop holding back from talking to someone, going for the job you want, the person you want, the life you want, in case they reject you, the way to do that is first of all to praise yourself. Praise yourself a lot. Secondly, here's something else to consider, and it's so true. You cannot be rejected ever unless you give the person rejecting you permission to reject you. After all, if I said to you, I just don't like you because I don't like anyone who's got bright purple hair, you'd go, I don't have bright purple, what are you talking about? You wouldn't let it in. But if I said, I don't like you, you're so boring, there's nothing to you, you're just dull and not very smart, you might let that in. You see how you have a choice? You get to choose what to let in and not to let in. If you want to grow in self-esteem, praise yourself a lot every day. It doesn't make you big-headed. It doesn't make you arrogant. You know why? Because arrogance is just the other end of the scale of insecurity. Here's someone who's deeply insecure saying, am I okay? Do you like me? Are you sure? And here's someone here going, I'm so great, me. I'm amazing. But they're the same person. The person here is trying to convince you they're worth it. And the person here is asking you to convince them they're worth it. The person here knows they're worth it because they work out what they want to hear and they say it themselves. I matter. I'm significant. We live in an interesting world. 30 years ago, your boss would go, hey, good job, well done. What you did today was really good. You did that or that or that. And now we work for startups. We work at home. We don't have anyone saying, oh, good job, you handled that client so well, or you did something really good today. We don't have that. And if you can't do it, then you never get praise, and your praise muscle, like any muscle isn't used, a trophy will wither away. So it's even more important now than ever before to praise yourself, to say at the end of a day, I did a great job today, I listened to someone, or I made a great sale, I worked with a challenging person, I worked in a challenging situation. You must praise yourself. It doesn't make you arrogant, but it does make you not needy. Praise grows you like a little flower without the sun. It makes you grow. So to not care about what other people think and to care about what you think, praise yourself. Do it every day. You don't have to go, right, I am the most amazing person in the whole world, better than everyone. You just say things that are true. I'm a good person. I've got a kind heart. I'm warm. I'm nice. I make mistakes. I'm not always warm and nice, but actually the core of me, I'm a nice person. I like myself. I believe in myself. I can understand why anyone would like me because I like me. And you know what else? It doesn't even have to be true. If you say it every day, it becomes true. That's the problem. People say every day, I'm a loser. I'll never amount to anything. I wasn't even wanted. How could I ever be anything? Who could love me? I've got 3 kids and cellulite, or I've got no job and a beaten up old car. And if you say that every day, you make it true. Your mind doesn't care what you tell it. You make your beliefs. And then your beliefs make you. And then the world starts to actually make real what you believe. I believe that all dogs are vicious people and bite me. That's what I believe that all people are out to rip me off. And I get ripped off. I believe that all people are rude. And I find that I believe that people are actually incredibly kind and nice and helpful. And I find that you make your beliefs make you. The world matches and mirrors back to what you've already chosen to believe. Make different beliefs. Believe in you. Stop caring what the world thinks about you and care what you think about you, because the day you start to say, I'm significant, I matter, I'm enough, I've got something to offer the world, I believe in myself, I'm a good person, interesting, likable, lovable. When you do that, you start to believe it. And then the whole world will start to believe what you believe, mirror what you believe, match what you believe. So you get to choose what you believe, since your mind doesn't care what you believe. Since you make your beliefs, then your beliefs make you. You might as well make your beliefs amazing. You've got nothing to lose except low self-esteem and everything to gain by making your beliefs better. Make your beliefs amazing, believe in you, and that is how you stop caring what other people think and only care what you think. What other people think about you doesn't matter, because one will say, I love you because you're so funny, I love you because you're so smart, I love you because you're interesting. Other people say, I don't like you, you're a show-off, you're too funny, you're big-headed, you're arrogant. You can't make everyone like you, but you can like you. You know, I write books, and I'm very lucky. Most people like my books, they like my talks, but if I look on YouTube, I feel I hate that girl. Who does she think she is? Stuck up, arrogant, know-it-all. And I don't go, oh my God, you don't like me? You said my talk was blah, 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 waste of your time. People have said some pretty horrible things, you know. I can laugh about it. I can tell you about it. You know why? I don't let it in. I know that my talks are... Somebody said to me the other day on a talk, if you really cared, you do it for nothing. I'm like, I am doing it for nothing. That's why it's on YouTube. I didn't bother to reply to her because I thought, wow, strange they can't see that, but I didn't let it in. You can't make me feel bad about myself unless I give you my permission. And while it's very nice if you like me, really nice, what matters is that I like me. And it's the same for you. You can't feel bad unless you let someone make you feel bad. Nobody can make you feel bad without your consent. And if you want to care less what other people feel about you, care more about what you feel about you, and now you have absolutely cracked it. And you're going to win at your life pretty much all the time, and that's amazing. Check out my next video here. Play the only part we've ever known, and then you make that part your own. Where you go, you know what? I think it's time for a new part. I was told I could never ever have children. My whole RTT training was based on being told I couldn't have a baby.